Pro Wrestling Commentary with Roman Pearson Jr.
Welcome back, wrestling fans, to the best pro wrestling commentary. This is Junior, along with Roman Pierce, and we're here to break down Raw and bring up some other topics. Now to the triple threat match. So that was the Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Randy Orton. for the title, or for a shot at the title. So I actually like that match. I am really impressed with Kevin Owens so far. I mean, in his relatively short time on the main roster, I've been impressed with him so far. Cesaro is just coming along. I guess I wish he would have done that a while back because he had flashes back in the couple years ago, but never amounted to anything. I mean,
Dang, that's kind of
okay,
cold-blooded.
that's okay. That is harsh. He didn't.
How can Cesaro do anything when John Cena's holding everybody back? I mean, come on now.
Okay, well, so Cesaro, he didn't reach the fans or connect with the fans like he is now. I guess that's a better way to put it, because I really thought his star was rising when he joined Heyman, but for some reason that seemed to drop his star for some reason.
Yeah, that was just a bad time for Cesaro. I think it was a bad time for wrestling when you put him next to Paul Heyman and they want him to shine like Brock Lesnar, but that's just two different dynamics. And now you can see he's on his own. He has his own Cesaro section, so the fans love him. Did you see when Orton picked him up and slammed his back on that plastic or metal guardrail? I almost thought he was going to fall on one of those kids and hurt them. So I was just like, wow, he did the same thing to Kevin Owens. So that was a really good match.
Yeah. And to the ending, I mean, because then Orton winning, that was good because I didn't have any idea of who was going to win. So, because, some matches, it's pretty predictable when they put on a bad show. It's pretty predictable. But this match, I was truly entertained.
Right.
Like, I couldn't figure out who was going to win because I could see all three of them winning. So, I would say great match. Probably my favorite match of the night.
That was your favorite match of the night. And were you at all surprised when Sheamus came and messed everything up?
You mean that was the main event, though?
Right.
I actually kind of was. I was hoping for... Well, honestly, I thought Rollins was going to weasel out by like a count out or purposely disqualifying himself. So I was somewhat surprised. Now, when Sheamus tried to cash in, I had a feeling Orton was gonna stop that.
I almost thought that Randy might have won the championship just so that he could go and face somebody else, and that Rollins could face Cena and possibly get the title. And I don't even know if that makes sense, but just it was really good storyline writing, because I actually thought that maybe he would be the 13-time champ. And, the commentators kept saying 13-time champ, but that didn't happen. So I thought that was a really good match. I enjoyed it myself very much. What did you think about Miz TV?
Miz TV, I like seeing Daniel Bryan. I mean, I'm disappointed. Yes. But
Free mode, that's my favorite part when I see free mode.
I am disappointed that he's been injured so much because, honestly, he quickly turned into one of my favorite wrestlers to watch because he's very talented in the ring. You see he gives it his all every match and the effort he puts into it. Mm-hmm. Like, every time he runs to the corner, you see, like, the intensity in his face. So I'm very eager to see him back in the ring. So hopefully, wherever you are, Daniel Bryan, get well soon. So,
well, you did see him back in the ring, but he was sitting on his butt because he's a B+ player with a B+ beard. So
okay, yeah. Well, you're Mr. Authority here, but
you got to see him in the ring after all that, Junior. And he's got #1 bestseller, so he comes out, writes a few books, but I guess he'll never be an A+ player.
Yeah, he'll prove you wrong. I know you're pro authority, so.
I think it's really unfortunate that the fans turn their back on the big show and they like to tell him to retire. I mean, come on now. The man has a family to take care of, and they're telling him to retire. He comes out on Miz TV and essentially just gets booed.
Although I do like his response, make me retire or have someone retire me.
Yeah, and then cue Ryback, and he comes out, and it's good to see him actually doing something. That's another guy John Cena held back, possibly.
What are you? You're a conspiracy theorist now?
Well, I don't know if he held him back, on his own, but I will say that, it's because of the machine that turns that Ryback is now finally getting an opportunity. So hopefully we see something come out of that. I really like to see a Ryback versus a Brock Lesnar one day.
Yeah, I mean, I will say with John Cena, I mean, not that he does it purposely, but it does seem like people have momentum until they feud with Cena. Like you said, Ryback, Rusev. I mean, those are two I can think of off the top of my head that kind of lost momentum after their feud with Cena. Wyatt.
Don't forget about Alex Riley. What's he doing these days? I thought he was doing commentating. They released him, didn't they?
No, he's on there somewhere.
I think they released him.
Nah, I see him come out every now and then, like some pre-show, maybe the pre-show.
The pre-show.
but I mean, he's there somewhere.
Okay. Somewhere in the back with Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo.
Yeah, that's another guy that had a flash of momentum. And then we move on to the tag team match. I will say, I was actually, what surprised me the most is it seemed like that crowd was cheering New Day. They were actually saying New Day rocks. I was like, am I hearing this correctly? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm liking their characters because they're very corny. I mean, they play good characters. Very corny. I like Big E's preacher style because at first I thought it was annoying, but now they got the crowd into it because, as you know in wrestling, whether you're getting a boo or a cheer, it's a reaction.
The reaction is what matters, and that's what gets you traction in the WWE or in the world of pro wrestling. And yeah, you're right. I like the New Day chants. I love the way heels come out and how the crowd hates them at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll call it the Rocky formula. I'm sure it was done before The Rock. But they come out and they hate you, but then they end up loving you. They end up liking you. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with the New Day, but the crowd definitely loves to hate them. And it is funny when they come out. And it's funny because, they're doing the New Day Rock chants and they say sucks. And then you see Big E, he's just like, no,
Yeah.
no, it's rocks, and it's just funny, and the way they stay in character is really cool.
And it's funny to hear JBL every week. He's like, obviously this crowd doesn't understand the lyrics, or they need to learn the words first because they keep saying the wrong words. So
Absolutely, and you have to love JBL. He actually called the faction of Paige and Becky Lynch and Charlotte called him the Freak Show. So it's funny how he bashes everybody.
Yeah.
It brings that to life. So we love that. And speaking of commentators like Byron Saxton, we got an email saying that they were asking if Junior was possibly the biological father or.
No relation that I'm aware of. But Byron Saxton actually kind of disappointed me because I liked when he started on SmackDown. I actually liked his announcing because he was like the funny heel commentator or pro heel. But now I don't know, he's not as funny anymore to me.
I will say that I think Byron has really became very bland. And you know what I think it is that, I don't know if you remember that Raw show where there was destruction and they left him on the air. It was just him.
Oh,
and Vince
gotcha.
McMahon wanted him to grasp the brass ring, and he didn't. And he was just kind of like very stale. They even had the King come out there and kind of help him out. And it seems like ever since that episode that he's just kind of there. It almost like he doubts himself when it comes to commentary. And I remember when JBL first came out and did commentary with Michael Cole, they kind of made fun of him a little bit because he was a little bit rusty. But he got back into the groove of things. And I wonder if Byron's going to do that. I mean, where does he stand? Because you have JBL as kind of the heel commentator, and you have Michael Cole as the analyst, and I guess the positive guy, and obviously John Cena's best friend. Where's Byron Saxton and all of that? Do you think he's still growing?
But see, I don't know. I don't know if Raw is suited for a 3-man table. Because if you think of the best announcing teams, it's always 2 guys. Go back to
2 guys.
Yeah, 2 guys. But now I don't know if we're not at the Jesse Ventura Gorilla Monsoon level. One day, people. One day, I guarantee it. But like for me personally, as a little kid, that was probably my favorite announcing. Jesse Ventura, Gorilla Monsoon. You get Gorilla Monsoon always for the good guy. Jesse Ventura, I mean, blatantly like rooting on the bad guy. Like the bad guy would be choking somebody out, and Gorilla Monsoon would be like, "Look at that cheating! Look at that cheating!" Jesse Ventura's like, "That's not cheating. That's just smart wrestling."
That's
So-
right. or like Bobby Heenan. Everybody
Yeah.
loved Bobby Heenan. He would come out and just tell it how it was. But I guess he would give us his perspective of wrestling. And that's what I'm saying. Byron Saxton, I feel like he's missing something.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't.
He doesn't know he doesn't know his identity. I don't think he's more comfortable when you see him in front of an NXT table or when he's doing the pre-show for a
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
you are right. He's much better at those.
Very comfortable.
I don't know if it's the rest of the crowd, the rest of the group, that panel that helps him out, but
It could be the intimidation factor because he's next to Michael Cole and JBL, and obviously you have Vince McMahon in the audio. You know, I don't think he's doing that for the NXT pre-show, not that I'm aware of, but you see that, and I really hope to see the guy shine, and you know, we'll see where that goes.
and of course, great announcing teams. I mean, we grew up 80s, 90s, or teenagers in the 90s. Of course, Jim Ross, Jerry the King Lawler, can't forget about them. One of the, I mean, like, I love to this day JR. My God! Like his reaction to every move. I mean, the guy was a legend. I hope to see him at the very least. Hope they bring him back one day, just for at least a Mania match or something to call a match. Because
and also we miss puppies, right?
yeah, the King doesn't have what he used to have anymore. I don't know if it was with JR made him better or what. He just, like, when I watch SmackDown, he doesn't bring it like he used to.
Well, he's still there, and he's still a Hall of Famer, and he's a legend. Now, moving on to SummerSlam, we have another card, a new card that they put on Raw. What do you think about this actor coming out, jumping over the barricade, and attacking Stardust? What did you think about that? I don't have any stars to throw your way, but what did you think about that?
I like it. I'll be honest, I haven't really... that made me put the Arrow on my Netflix queue because I never really watched it because, I mean, as you know, maybe the audience doesn't know, I'm a big comic book lover, so Arrow was never a big character of mine, so I'll give him a chance because of that. If he's into wrestling, anyone that's into wrestling, that gives them points with me, so I'll check it out. I like it. I'm interested to see if he comes out in his Arrow gear for the SummerSlam match.
Now, I was actually getting up to get a drink, but I could see from my kitchen that he jumped the barricade.
Yeah, because Stardust pushed him.
He muffed him, and he muffed him good, too. So I don't know if there was a little realism, anger, storyline, or a mixture of both. But when I saw that he jumped in and he just jumped on Stardust and he immediately thrown what looked like closed fists and elbows, hard elbows and fists.
Oh, yeah.
It almost looked like Stardust was kind of taken back from that. So when I saw that, I said, wow, this takes me back to the old Attitude Era when you would really look at things and say, wait a minute, I know this is kind of predetermined, but that looks real. And it really added to the excitement and made me really look forward to this match. And honestly, this SummerSlam, after, I don't know, maybe the past 2 SummerSlams, this really feels like an epic SummerSlam. And we know that SummerSlam is a big pay-per-view after WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first SummerSlam in a long time for me that I can honestly say it really feels like a spectacular SummerSlam.
I'm getting excited for it. I mean, I've been excited for it. Well, after they announced the Lesnar-Undertaker match, I was already hooked. Well, I was going to watch it regardless, but I'm like more excited now, especially the 4 hours. Divas elimination match. You got the fatal 4-way tag team championship match. And speaking of the tag team, real quick, we glossed over them a little bit. Just have a question for you, because you know a lot of great stars have come out of tag teams.
Right,
look at Shawn
absolutely.
Michaels, look at Edge. Although I will say Christian's not a Marty Jannetty, but Christian did accomplish a lot. But
Peep show.
Yeah, but he didn't reach the same level of success as Edge. Edge was probably the bigger star of the group. Miz, obviously a bigger star than John Morrison. So, out of the tag teams now, who do you see?
You know, with all due respect to Christian, I mean, we have to say that
2-time champion.
Edge did take the coward's way out and retired.
Well, he had no
too
choice.
early.
Oh, come on. He had no choice.
Everyone has a choice, Junior. Okay?
Okay.
Everyone has a choice. He wanted to be on the Sci-Fi Network and be an actor, so. But, you know, hey, Edge, hope you're doing well. Well, yeah, and to your point for the tag team, you're right. You know, you get these factions together like the Shield, the Four Horsemen, you know, even Nexus. You see Nexus and you see a lot of their stars like Ryback. You see, I have got some bad news for you, Wade Barrett. You know, you have all these superstars who are coming out of these factions and tag teams. Who do you see right now who is in the cards as probably the next, well, I don't want to say the next big thing that's been used for Lesnar, but who do you really see coming out of that? You have the Wyatts. They separated them, and now they're back together, but as individuals, they've kind of been able to shine on their own. I
think Bray Wyatt can. I don't think, as you saw, Luke Harper and Erick Rowan, they didn't do so well by themselves. To me, at least, I don't know what it is. They don't have the mic skills that Wyatt has. Because I like Wyatt. I mean, Wyatt may go on his promos, but I like his his darkness message and all that. I mean, it is interesting. I like hearing him talk because he is talented on the mic. Harper, I mean, you've heard the few times Harper's got on the mic, he just doesn't bring it to me. Same with Rowan. Because I think they need Wyatt because that's the only way they're relevant. I hate to say that because I think I like their characters, but unless they can learn some mic skills or something, I don't see them flourishing on their own.
Well, you know what I think it is that when you look at the Shield and when they separated the Shield, you know, they all came out first with their SWAT team look and whatnot, and the only one that really kept that look was Roman Reigns. And obviously, you see Dean Ambrose, he's the lunatic, and you got Seth Rollins, he's the future and whatnot. He's got his Hispanics gear and whatnot. And when you divided the Wyatt family, obviously Bray Wyatt, he has his own identity. That's who he is. That's his mystique. But the other two, they kind of still are leeching off of Bray Wyatt's gimmick. And when they separated them, they didn't really...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They don't have a separate identity, in other words.
They kept the same gimmick, but okay.
Exactly. And I think that if maybe they would just spawn a little bit away from that, they'd be able to express that, because I think the other two wrestlers are still feeding off of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family faction. I think they realized that, and they said, hey, the only way that Luke Harper's going to flourish is if we put him back with Bray Wyatt, which seems to be working for now, and we'll see where that happens. They're both, I mean, Luke Harper is a very talented wrestler, and I think he has potential. I just don't think he's found himself as an identity for himself.
And honestly, I wish they would bring back Rowan and maybe add someone else. I mean, I've been saying since Bo Dallas is his real life brother, I'd love to see Bo Dallas join that group. That's just me personally, but because I know you may not care for him. I love Bo. I don't know, Bo Dallas cracks me up with "I'm winning, I'm winning" and doing all that, and the Bo leave and just the corniness to me cracks me up.
But what was it that Diesel said to CM Punk when he first came out and he had the mic and he said, you know what, you need, I forgot what he said verbatim, but he said something like, you know, you need to hit the weights and hit the showers or something like that. And I think I love Bo Dallas. I think he's a good character. And he's obviously gifted on the mic. And I like that when he grew that little goatee versus the shaved look. But he needs to work out. 'Cause when I see him, he just looks like a guy with a dad body. You know, he's got the arms or whatnot, but he's kind of got that gut going for him. So
he doesn't have a gut.
Well, he's got a little bit. He's got like a Leonardo DiCaprio belly going on there. So you know,
slightly okay, but
yeah. So
I'll say this Raw. I liked it, not as much as the previous week's Raws, but I still thought it was pretty good. As you know, it started out with Seth Rollins, as they have been pretty recently, where he comes out and talks, which is the champion's prerogative. That usually happens. I will say with Rollins, I like him because I say he's a great bad guy. He makes you dislike him because he's so weaselly. Like the way he weasels out of matches, brags about, like the most recent instance was him with Undertaker, or him saying it's a good thing the Undertaker was there when he showed up in the match of Battleground because he was about to win. I don't know, to me it's just funny. I always love that. Like bad guys exaggerating or bad guys like distorting the truth like that.
He's got the graphic on the Jumbotron. Can you see this knee or whatever the shirt says? But I think that's really cool that they're doing that gimmick now, and it's a big plus for Seth, I think.
Yeah, he actually got some cheers. Well, and I've learned, as you've seen it, anyone that attacks Cena will get cheers from the tip of the Cena Sucks group. So I like that, and I like the confrontation with Cesaro and Kevin Owens. And so, which of course led up to that triple threat match with Randy Orton. And it's funny, when he walked out there, I was like, oh yeah, because Orton, who's been like a big name the past decade, or he's like always winning a title, or I mean, he's usually at the main event level. So we haven't really seen him as much lately, so it was kind of cool to see him come out there.
And Orton's kind of that guy that kind of glues everything together. Like you said, he's a veteran. And it seems like when something's missing, throw Orton into it, especially when you have two... I mean, I don't want to say rookies. Kevin Owens has been in the game for a while now. And
but at this level, I guess.
Right, at this level. So just to throw him in there and be like, hey, you know what? He could be a 13-time champion or not. Obviously, that didn't happen this Raw. But the fact that they throw him into that dynamic really creates a different mixture and stirs the pot up a little bit. So I thought that was really good to see. And moving on to the Divas matches, or as Junior likes to call them, the women wrestlers, which I also agree with. What did you think about this week's women wrestling match? Obviously, again, they compound all the women wrestlers together for whatever reason. They all have to come out at the same time instead of dividing out a 3-hour show. But what did you think about their work in the ring this Raw?
I really liked it, and I did notice one thing I'm noticing that used to not happen was, remember back in the day that the matches, women's matches would be only like 3 minutes. People would joke that that was your bathroom break time, and now you notice it goes through the commercial. So I like that aspect of it.
Bathroom break time. Yeah.
I mean, that was a joke because I would always see
Yeah.
it online. People would always make that joke about women's matches.
So because the women came out, you had to go to the bathroom? What's going on there, Junior?
Well, no. Yes, I see your was that your insinuation there? Your double entendre.
No,
if you
but
will.
we understand where you're coming from. It was
But I mean, I do like the longer matches so that they get to showcase their talents more. Because honestly, I mean, Sasha Banks is very impressive. As you notice, the crowd cheering for her. We want Sasha. I say Naomi's in-ring ability is great. I really think she has great ability. She just, I don't know if she has the charisma or the mic skills yet. I guess that's something she can work on. But in-ring ability is good. The Bellas, I mean, compared to what they were at like a couple years ago, I've noticed their wrestling ability has improved steadily. But like you said, I mean, they are married to Daniel Bryan and John Cena, so I'm sure that they've helped them out with that.
absolutely. One thing that I noticed is that the crowd was really getting into Sasha Banks, and they were cheering her. They were Sasha, Sasha. So I think she even felt that herself. She's really coming along, and it seems like Naomi is almost kind of taking a back seat to Sasha Banks because you're seeing more Sasha Banks chants. And I wonder where that's going to take it. Is there going to be a future feud between the two of them? Obviously, right now it's against Team Bella, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if they change that there in the storyline in the near future.
And it's interesting you mentioned that because when I was watching last night, I was like, how long are they going to run with these teams of 3? Because eventually I would like to see Naomi versus Sasha. I would like to see Paige versus Becky Lynch, Charlotte versus Paige. I mean, because they would put on some amazing matches, I think. And now Tamina, where someone looks so intimidating, I'm just disappointed she doesn't really bring much to the table. And then she gets in the ring and she gets beaten down pretty quick. It's like
Right.
someone that's supposed to be big, muscular, intimidating. She doesn't enforce a role. She doesn't really live up to that.
When I see Tamina, I really think of her kind of like Roman Reigns when he first started, before they broke up the Shield. He was this big, tough guy, kind of pretty boy face for the ladies, but he really couldn't speak on the mic very well, didn't have very much mic skills. But it's like Tamina, she had the look and she had the physical attributes and she could wrestle, but she just couldn't speak on the mic, and it seems like now she's just kind of more of an enforcer role. But I'm really big on them, and I agree with you. I think they need to divide the rest. I mean, they have a women's wrestling division now. They should divide these matches instead of throwing them all in one ring. Not to say we're complaining, because I know the last 3 episodes we spoke about that too, but it seems like it's just becoming a pattern now.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously at SummerSlam they're going to wrestle again, and it's not even for the title. It's just
Elimination match.
It's just an elimination match. So it's like, it's just another match that we just seen the past 2 Raws, only now it's at SummerSlam. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for us for this week's episode of Best Pro Wrestling Commentary. Make sure you check us out. New videos Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and look for our skits and promo videos also. So on behalf of Junior, I am Roman Pierce. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And we look forward to hearing your comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Or we're building our Facebook. That'll be up pretty soon. And go ahead and send us your comments and commentary. Be as nice or as mean as you want to be, and we'll get back to you.
And also, like you said, skits and promos. Also be looking for our videos discussing wrestling history, like best WrestleMania matches in our opinion, best tag teams, things of that nature. We discussed that, best factions. So our take on the Monday Night Wars. So be looking out for that and give us your opinions on that. Give us your favorites or whether you disagree with us on our best of list. So because I always find that interesting. So
look forward to hearing from you guys. Best Pro Wrestling Commentary, and we are out.
Peace.